Hello, my name is David Rosen and I'm Vice Chair of Stanmore Synagogue, a position I share jointly with Samantha Jacobs. As you know, the government has announced that from July 4th, 2020, places of worship in England are set to reopen at the earliest. We continue to receive guidance from the United Synagogue, the Health and Safety Executive, and from government announcements. We are also watching what other faiths are doing. We also have to apply the COVID-19 threat to our own unique circumstances at Stanmore to minimise risks and the spread of infection. Having discussed concerns and obstacles amongst the Honorary Executive, we then formed a select specialist subcommittee, and the next stage was to gauge member sentiment. This was done in the form of a short survey in which over 300 of you replied, varying across the spectrums of ages from under 12s to over 80s, and for those regular shul goers to those who only attend occasionally. The messages received from the survey are overwhelmingly that you all welcome a new safety culture to be implemented and enforced. We have been mapping out and testing protocols and procedures. These have been formulated by members of our community skilled in the fields of risk and insurance, health and safety, medical, fire and security, who implement these systems in their day-to-day jobs to business and industry standards. We understand and respect your decisions. Things will not be the same. But perhaps it goes a little way to give you comfort that we intend for you to have access remotely to weekday services so that you can at least hear Kaddish and other important prayers for those who are unable to attend services. Any procedure and protocols agreed are under constant review, changing with public announcements and various other factors. Slow and steady and proceeding with extreme caution are the orders of the day for our community. We will start by using the main Shul hall side entrance, which is closest to the rear left-hand door of the Shul because it is the shortest and most direct entrance. There will be a strict flow and direction of people. There will be a symptom-based strategy by email questionnaire, pre-entry screening sent earlier on the day of attendance, taking no more than 60 seconds to complete, with a simple yes or no answer relating to COVID-related health questions. Any adverse reply will result in you not being allowed entry on that particular occasion. Upon entry, there will be random testing of temperatures, but the overall purpose of physical pre-screening is to ensure that you are wearing your masks properly. If you do not have, we will provide you with masks. You will be given instructions to walk to your allocated seat. Of course, when the chance of infection reduces, the precautions in place will also reduce. Until then, we will adopt a strict in-out rule. There will be no parking on site. The air conditioning will stay off. There will be no singing and limited use of toilet facilities. You will need to bring your own tallis and prayer books. There will be no access to any part of the synagogue, including lockers and the foyer to the synagogue. We would ask those attending not to loiter. The Chief Rabbi, in his address on Monday evening by virtual Zoom conference to leaders of shuls, made clear that he struggled initially to understand why there should be no singing. And then it was explained to him, and he accepted, and therefore so should we, that when you sing, you release droplets of saliva which could carry COVID-19 and spread infection. For that reason only, there will be no singing for the time being, save for the leader of the service and when facing towards the ark and not towards the community. The trial run will take place with 2 weekday minyanim restricted to just 10 to 15 people, a minimum of 10 men and a mixture of men and women for the remainder. We understand that there could be no ceiling to those who attend, but in all practicality, with the 2-meter rule in place, it's suggested by the United Synagogue that we would not be able to have at this particular time more than a 20% capacity. That, of course, does not mean that we should start with that figure immediately. We are proceeding with extreme caution, slow and steady. We will use this time to monitor our systems and procedures and then to develop and implement larger systems. It is a live, working and evolving situation. The following weeks will see introductions of morning services as well as afternoon and evening services. Understand that there is a deep cleaning process that needs to take place on each occasion that the synagogue is used for prayer at this time, and we cannot and we will not shortcut that requirement. We hope that then we can interject short services for the children in specific bubbles in other parts of the synagogue. Again, we are constantly reviewing the situation. If all goes well, and as restrictions are likely to be reduced in the coming weeks to socially distance from 2 metres to 1 metre, this will allow for more space and therefore more people to attend, and we can then consider Friday night services. Again, these will be supported with virtual remote access and will simply switch off automatically as we enter Shabbat. We will then consider further bubbles of services, restricted in numbers, to have abbreviated Shabbat morning services. We can then review how to hold services for the high holy days. Thank you for your various emails, calls and notes, which are helpful, of course, to assist in framing our thinking. Please be patient with us, and thank you for your support.